Hi guys, 604 StarCraft here to cast Game 4 of the Zotac Cup Finals, and we do have again here Strelok spawning as the bottom left-hand Terran, and his opponent for this match will be WhiteRa, and we'll see how this game goes here. If you haven't seen the other previously three games, definitely do check them out. I did cast all the three games, so you can be sure to look on my channel for them as well. And if you have been keeping up to it, you'll know that Strelok is up 3-0 to WhiteRa. So WhiteRa here is actually very far behind. I believe that it is a best of 7 at this point. So we'll see how this goes here. WhiteRa is kind of going for a very early, I think an early proxy pylon here, but he actually does get scouted by Strelok here, so maybe great kind of instinct there by Strelok. I'm not too sure if he was able to actually see the SCV, see the probe go in there, but he does see the early pylon there, so this will probably nullify, I think, an early any early harass by WhiteRa. But now they're kind of in a race at this point. I think WhiteRa is did put down his gateway at this point. WhiteRa is chrono boosting his probe line, but I think at this point he is investing almost an all-in with the gateway push here. So I think it will be a race at this point, but because Protoss do have the advantage of a chrono boost, so I think he will be able to actually get his Zealot out before Strelok is able to. So at this point I think both players are kind of not too sure what to do here. I think Strelok is actually opting to go for an early bunker, which is great play by him, and his Marine is on its way. So we're gonna see if WhiteRa is able to kind of get his Zealot to kind of block the entrance of the bunker, maybe, because if the bunker does go up, this will be pretty much GG for WhiteRa. It's not looking good for WhiteRa at this point here. The Marine does actually get into the bunker, so I'm not too sure how this is going to actually go for WhiteRa. It's not looking good at all. I think at this point WhiteRa might be looking to transition and kind of leave this cheese alone, but he might be investing a bit too much here. The Marine here kind of just dancing around, doesn't look stuck at all, but let's just see how this goes here. WhiteRa is still chrono boosting the Zealot, trying to kind of get some early pressure maybe at this point, but due to the bunker placement, this Zealot probably won't be able to do much damage at all. He was able to kind of kill a couple more SUVs, and let's take a quick look at the income tab here. So actually great work by WhiteRa. WhiteRa was actually able to take his SUV, kill the supply depot, which will actually make Strelok below on supply, and at this point I think he actually has completely stopped mining at the Terran base. So actually surprisingly great work by WhiteRa here. Initially I thought he would be actually very far behind, but he's actually able to not only stop the mining, he was actually put Strelok very far behind in supply. So Strelok here not able to make any more units. He's not able to make any more SUVs or Marines. So if WhiteRa here is able to somehow take out these 4 Marines, he'll actually completely stop Strelok from kind of doing any kind of defensive, stop his defenses altogether. So at this point here, WhiteRa is actually, I think, far ahead. If you just take a quick look at the harvester count here, WhiteRa has more than double the harvester count compared to Strelok. Strelok's here actually very far behind, which is very surprising considering when you took a quick look at the push, you would have thought that WhiteRa was actually very far behind with that unsuccessful or seemingly unsuccessful early push there. But at this point, WhiteRa it does have 3 gateways, or actually 2 gateways, and he is getting cybernetics core here. He's probably going to go for the warp gate technology here. He does have his second simulator up as well, and you can take a look at the harvester count. They're almost leagues apart here. WhiteRa here with 21 harvesters to Strelok's is only 10 harvesters, but you can see that the income's it's not, I wouldn't say around the same, but it's closing in. That's mainly because of the Terran's advantage with the mules. The mules do play a very big role in kind of increasing to the Terran's the mineral supply there. So we'll see if Strelok's able to get back to it. At this point, he does have a good use of static defenses, but again, the Protoss Zealots just aren't able to kind of keep up with kind of just a little bit of micro from any kind of range unit here. The Zealots here are kind of running around in a circle here, kind of like a merry-go-round, probably looking to do an early scout, but the Marauder here will probably finish this up. And let's just see if he is. Let me take a quick look at the production tab. He's going for the concussive shells upgrade. This will kind of nullify pretty much almost all Zealot pushes, I guess, from this point on until they get some Zealot legs. And WhiteRa here now is kind of pushing out with a very heavy Stalker army. I think if WhiteRa does want to take advantage of his of the early kind of his economic damage that he did do in the early stages, he should push out fairly soon here. Nonetheless, regardless if WhiteRa decides to push or not, Strelok is pushing out with his good sized army as well. I think that one Stalker there was caught a bit off guard, maybe a misclick there, didn't actually do any damage to his army. So we'll see how this pans out right now. I think at this point WhiteRa's army isn't looking that great. He is building more Zealots, but as we've seen in almost in all the other previous 3 matches, the Zealots completely get taken advantage of. But because WhiteRa did have the high ground, he was able to kind of put his use his Stalkers to his advantage. But as we see there, a bit of misclick there. WhiteRa there did kind of block his own Zealots in, but I think at this point it might be a good play here if he is able to trap these Marauders in there, and good play by or good micro there by WhiteRa here. He was actually able to take that poor